You will hear me talk a lot about sleep quality more than anything else. Contrary to popular belief and what we've been told, even what you can Google, having good quality sleep is more than a cool dark room, a wind down routine before bed, and avoiding screens. It's really about having a body that functions really well so that ultimately our nervous system can feel safe enough to shift into a parasympathetic state or rest and digest in order to go to sleep. A nervous system in sympathetic state or fight-flight is going to have trouble going to sleep and staying asleep. If you've ever had a period where you're really stressed or really anxious, you probably would have noticed that your sleep wasn't as good as it normally is. And this is because the body needs to feel safe in order to go to sleep and stay asleep. There are a multitude of factors that can cause the nervous system to be in a heightened state, causing sleep quality to be reduced. These can be external factors such as finances, work, relationship and families, sometimes feeling like you've got too much to do and not enough time, kids, sensory sensitivities, certain difficult situations you end up in, or sickness. Arguably, these are more adult stresses and they're often temporary, although not always, and this means that it can affect your sleep quality for the longer term. There are other stresses that can come from within the body that when they're not addressed, they can become chronic and cause the body functions to slowly unravel. Now, basically anything can cause a stress for the body, but some of the main ones that I see, particularly in children, include airway issues such as snoring, mouth breathing, sleep apnea or upper airway resistance, body tension and tightness or other biomechanical issues, unmanaged food or environmental allergies, nutritional insufficiencies or deficiencies, dysregulated blood sugar, consistently broken or fragmented sleep, and this is more for the parent, that can create a lot of stress for you, general poor quality sleep, not eating enough, heavy metals, mold, and even more. Literally anything can be a stressor to your nervous system, particularly if you're already in a stress state. So it might be why you find yourself maybe snapping at a partner or feeling really overwhelmed when there's lots of noise or mess or just lots of things going on. More often than not, symptoms are not really obvious in children and babies when it comes to things that affect their sleep quality. So instead, we can use their sleep presentation to determine if they're getting really good quality, restful and restorative sleep. So some of the things that I might look for that would be a bit of a red flag that their sleep quality could do with some optimization include frequent night wakings, on average more than 4 feeds per night as a newborn, or more than about 3 feeds per night up until 18 months old. After that, wakes here and there I would consider pretty common. If they're catnapping less than a full sleep cycle, so that's less than 40 minutes from about 8 weeks onwards, waking more frequently than every 2 hours at night time, if they're very restless in their sleep, if they're waking up upset from either their naps or in the morning or during the night, if you find that they're always fighting sleep or taking a really long time to fall asleep, if they're unable to stay awake an age-appropriate length of time, or they always seem tired throughout the day no matter how much sleep they get, if they stay awake an excessive amount of time that you would consider appropriate for their age during the day, any child or baby that you would consider low sleep needs or high sleep needs, if they generally struggle with their mood and behavior during the day, if sleep is generally difficult and just really hard work, or if they're always contact napping or they need to be touching someone or with someone at all times in order to go to sleep. As always, it's important to look at the whole picture, not just a single thing. And it's also important to look at the length of time that it's been happening. Babies and toddlers do go through phases where sleep will be disturbed due to developmental upgrades in their brain. But we should always find that sleep comes back together after these periods. The best thing about looking at sleep quality rather than quantity of sleep is that we're not going to be using settling methods or any kind of strategies to change their sleep. We are looking at their whole body and optimizing the functions of all of the systems so that their nervous system is no longer stressed and they can achieve good quality sleep like they are biologically intended. If you want to learn more about achieving really good quality sleep for your family, hit subscribe, come follow me on Instagram for tons of free information and to find out how you can work with me so you can get really good quality sleep for your whole family.